Welcome to the Skelton Report. I'm Mark Nathaniel Skelton. Today we're going to be talking about video games' impact on the brain. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for this information and more like it. All right, so this interesting article came across my path, and it's a review of a research that was done studying brain activity with children who play video games. All right, and so the title of it, again, I'll put the link in the description. Children who play video games. I may be opening up a can of worms here, but hey, this is what the research is saying. Who play video games show altered brain activity that suggests improved cognitive abilities. All right, so let's take a closer look and see what the findings are. All right, so findings from a brain imaging study published in JAMA Network Open. This is pretty well-known medical journal. Suggests that playing video games may be beneficial for children's cognitive development. All right, so as you're getting older physically and you're developing physically, your brain's developing as well, through that toddler phase, infant, toddler, adolescent, teenager, adult. And as the brain's developing, your cognitive abilities are as well, like, how well you can handle your emotions and kind of higher level functioning. So this study, just FYI, so the study found that children who regularly play video games perform better on two cognitive tasks and showed altered cortical activation patterns in regions of the brain implicated in attention, memory, and visual processing. Altered cortical activation patterns, just a fancy way of saying just the different areas of the brain that kind of light up or activated pathways that they take when you're performing different cognitive tasks. All right, so video games, as you know, are more popular than ever among youth, with surveys suggesting that the majority of the children and adolescents play them. You may know that yourself, especially if you're a parent. All right, during these formative years, the brain undergoes changes, all right, leading researchers to question whether video gaming might impact children's cognitive development. So that's kind of, the background and the rationale for this study. Research into the association between video games and cognition has been largely inconclusive. All right, so there's no real firm conclusion on whether it's good or bad, but there are some evidence that supports that it has beneficial effects. Specifically, studies have pointed to the possible attentional and working memory benefits associated with video games. So how you can pay attention and function and zero in on a certain task. And working memory is where, it's kind of like short term, but it's how you hold information, manipulate it. Think about using like a math problem, two-digit math problems. When you're subtracting one, you kind of hold it on your visual board and work it out. Or maybe when someone's telling your phone number and you're holding on to those 7 digits. So think that when you think working memory and its benefits associated with video gaming. So the study author, Dr. Bader, and his team sought to build on the past findings by including neural imaging data. Get into that a little more. Something few past studies have done. So what they did was the researchers collected data, information from the adolescent brain cognition development ABCD study, a longitudinal study of brain development in child health in the United States. They focus on data from the study's baseline assessments, resulting in a final sample of over 2,000 children from the ages of 9 to 10. Okay, so it's the population, the demographics. This paragraph is just more so about the researchers' interest in the study. And so this is where it gets good. So the children performed, let's get here. Children performed cognitive tasks while undergoing functional magnetic resonance imaging. So it sounds like a big word, but just think about it like this. So brain imaging is the way to see into the brain. It's like the window into the brain. And so there's like two really big legs for this, like structural and then functional. Structural is what you're probably used to hearing like MRIs, all right? These are stills, like just stills, and fMRI is when the brain's like moving, and they can record that. So it's kind of the difference between taking a snapshot of the brain, that's just a regular MRI, a picture, snap, that's it, and then the fMRI is like the real, all right, the video of the brain operating. So just kind of keep that in mind, because they was following the brain and the movements in the brain as they perform these tasks. All right, this one is a stop signal task, which just deals with more like inhibitory control, self-control rather, and then the in-back task, which is a test of working memory. Again, more just a sequence of characters and remembering certain ones in certain orders. So the children also reported how many like hours a day they spent engaged in screen time, including separate questions for playing video games and watching videos. All right, so there's two groups that are going to be compared. There is the video gamers, all right, in this study, and these are children who've played 3 or more games, or 3 or more hours per day, and then the non-video gamers, all right, this right here, and these are children who played 0 hours a day. It showed that they differed in brain performance and brain activation patterns during the cognitive tasks. All right, so first, it found that video gamers outperformed the non-video gamers on both stop task and the in-back task. So the inhibitory, the self-control task, and then the working memory task. Next, it found that video gamers show differences in blood oxygen level dependent activity. Again, the brain uses oxygen, so depending on what activities you do, there's going to be oxygen activity, and so they measure that. So specifically, the gamers showed an enhanced bold signal in parts of the precuneus and during the tasks that tested inhibitory control. And this is an area of the brain implicated in functions like attention and memory and integration of information. Again, you got to think about they said the brain's like a symphony, like it works all together. Okay, it's just not one area that does one thing, but it all has to work together. And then so moving on working memory tasks, the gamers showed a weaker bold signal in occipital area. So that's the area back here behind the head that deals with vision, the visual processing area of the brain. This may suggest that video gaming led to better neural efficiency in visual motor areas. Video gamers also increase activation in cingulate, middle, and frontal gyri. All right, so our study showed, so what are some of the conclusions? What can we take in this? Study showed that video gaming may be associated with faster reaction time and superior working memory, along with brain function changes in areas of vision, attention, and memory processing. These findings remain significant after controlling for potential confounds of behavior problems and psychiatric disorders. Importantly, the findings were also significant after controlling for video watching, all right, suggesting that the brain activation differences were specific to video gaming more than video watching. All right, in all these studies, there are limitations. We'll wrap it up. So an important limitation of the study is that there was no data on the genre of games. So the genre of game, is the game, if it's more interesting to you, maybe you are going to stay more focused. All right, and if it's a boring game, maybe you're not pay that much attention to it. So we need to find out what role video games played and the different types of the video games. Okay, whether it's an adventure, a shooter game versus single player, it might have different effects on cognitions. All right, so that again opens up the door for more research to learn more. Overall, this study suggests that video games is linked to improved performance on cognitive tasks involving response of self-control and working memory. All right, future work will also allow researchers to evaluate any behavioral neurocognitive changes that may be associated with video gaming during adolescence. The study was called Association of Video Gaming with Cognitive Performance Among Children. All right, pretty interesting. What do you think? The takeaway is that there may be some benefits from playing video games, such as better attention, and again, working memory. So that's something to consider as a parent or a video gamer. Hey, hopefully that was helpful to you as it was for me. And be sure to, again, like, share, subscribe, follow me at Mark N. Skelton. And remember, the more you learn, the more you earn. And I'm pretty curious about what you think. Let me know what you think on this research. What are some of your experiences? All right, I'll catch you on the next go around. Peace.